Who's that?
We're not being recorded, are we?
Oh, yeah, just started.
Hate them. No, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, I did just start though. Like I just started recording. So
Good.
So, all right. Hello, guys.
Good
How are
eye,
you?
Good eye, mate.
evening.
Why are we starting Australian?
I don't fucking know, man.
Good
Why
eye,
not?
mate.
Why not, man? All right.
Cheers.
So we have cheers.
Cheerio.
Cheers, yeah. I'm glad you did that. You and I cheers at the beginning of our podcast.
That should be a thing.
thing.
Where you,
It was, and then it fizzled out. I just stopped doing it.
Disappointed,
Right? Well,
but so proud.
welcome to the rest of my family. Appreciate that. We have Kyle Browning here. Hello, Kyle.
Hello.
And Mr. Chase Gilroy.
good day, sir.
Good day.
Good day.
How are you? All right then.
Nigel.
That's that hillbilly British.
Oh.
You know, like you got your proper British guys. You know, well, hello, sir. How are you today?
Yeah.
Then you have your hillbilly British, like, oh, fuck you. That's for true. You know, like they're just
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been told my
Vulgar.
British has gone full Cockney.
full cockney.
Cockney.
Full cockney.
Full Cockney. They call it Cockney is like a different faction. There's factions. Like there's London British.
like a
there's
dialect
Cockney.
almost.
There's yeah.
Wow.
And then there's the Queen's proper English, and it's all very confusing, but still very fun.
That makes sense. I wonder which one that I call hillbilly British. I wonder what that falls under.
I'm not sure. I think it's a
Probably
category
an
all in its
in-betweener
own.
or on its own, yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in to the studio and hanging out. It's funny. The day after I had actually initially turned this into a podcast studio because it was just me shooting videos, and then I decided
Doing the film trigger.
yeah. And I was so proud of it. I was like, oh my god, I got 2 microphones in here.
Yeah.
I was super excited, and then like the very next day, I went to your studio.
Oh yeah.
No.
And I'm like, son of a bitch. I'll never forget that. Because I was so wrapped up in something else that I wasn't even aware of what I was getting myself into. I thought I was joining Kyle and his friends
with
some phones out. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll come out and hang out with you guys.
So you had a good time.
Yeah, it's a surprising time and very good time.
We need you back. We need to have Stevie Cade back.
But
I know it.
There was one time I was supposed to come back, and then we had like
We had some
we had a
difficulties.
family issue. I couldn't. My son's grandmother passed away, so I was like,
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, just decided to be with the boy that time.
Of course.
So,
Good
but yeah,
choice.
Completely understood. The door is always open.
yeah,
Always
well,
has been.
I'm down now. Whenever.
Okay.
As long as I'm free, I'm not really booking much anymore. Too much.
I've noticed.
Yeah, I told you.
You're building that up though.
I told you, man.
You know,
like,
once you start again, it's gonna be bigger than.
Did you do this on purpose?
well, COVID hit,
Right.
and
It
it's-
really shut things down.
well, yeah, but
Especially in your movement, man. You were out everywhere.
I was like, yeah, 3 or 4 nights a week.
Mhm.
But instead of like being scared, like, oh no, gigs, I found myself being relieved. And then it started snowballing into like, well, maybe I don't want to do this full time anymore.
Okay.
Then when I would get a gig, I found myself like, got a gig tonight. Like I wasn't enjoying it. I think I burned myself out because I
Dang.
did a lot of shows.
Yeah,
I did
you did.
300 in my last year. I did 300 shows in 1 year, and that was exhausting. And I don't know. Like I enjoy going out every now and again, and learning to love it again, as opposed to looking at it like, my main financial, support.
It's different when it's a job, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It gets that way. It wasn't at first. At first it's like, oh, I'm doing what I love, and,
Yeah.
and all that. And then it became a job, and
I think that goes a lot with what I do.
and
because
for people who don't know, what do you do, Chase?
okay, so I mean,
Yeah, introduce
there's a lot of
yourself.
there's a lot of different names or
How many
categories.
hats you got, buddy?
I got a few hats.
I feel that.
I've been an online content creator, video producer, freelance videographer, live streamer. Some people would say YouTuber.
Yeah, most.
But yeah, I mean, I've done the gamut of online content creation for a number of years, almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 2 years ago, one of the main topics on YouTube was creator burnout, right? Because when I was like doing production full speed ahead, it was daily vlogs. Every day I'd film a vlog all day long, and then I'd stay up until 2, 3 in the morning editing that, and then upload it, and then wake up and do it all over again. And I did that for a number of years.
Yeah.
Like, and I earned myself 670 some thousand subscribers on YouTube, and it's literally been one of the greatest highlights of my life, being able to do that. But even with something that you love to do, it becomes work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think, like, I found a way, because recently I've been kind of backing off on, I don't upload every day, you know? I've kind of just casually created what I want when I want, and it's been way easier to stay at that pace and still love it.
Less stressful.
A lot less stressful. You don't have the pressure of, but the algorithm is the devil, dude.
Yeah.
On every platform, there is an algorithm that you must appease. It's like, we call it the algorithm gods. And if you don't please the algorithm gods, well, you're just going to go nowhere. It's like spinning tires in wet mud.
Yeah.
But I think if you take time and, like, do it for the reasons that you got into it in the first place, because you love it, I think it's a better result for you, both professionally and mentally.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know with my teeny tiny little YouTube channel, in respect to your success,
It's a lot of work.
I mean, I spend, like, editing is most of it. And just the edits. I do edit a lot of my stupid out. That's what I call it. Which, by the way, Kyle, I don't edit my podcast anymore. Just letting you know that. those I just
you only cut 10 minutes out of ours.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, but I decided just to let it go now, let it freestyle. But when I do those videos, like, I'll spend from beginning to end, anywhere between 5 to 8 hours.
Oh yeah.
On one video. But I was pumping out content all the time when I was doing music full time, because my days were free all day.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be anywhere until I didn't have to leave the house till 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm spending all day doing all that stuff, doing 2-3 videos a week, consistently.
Nice.
And then when COVID hit and I got this job, and like that went in the back burner. I didn't even do a video for like 3 months.
Wow.
I didn't know how to balance the 40-hour work week plus all these other things I've decided I want to do. And now I'm coming more towards a balance, but like I've grown accustomed to the fact that I'm just not worried about the numbers anymore. I'm not worried about, the obsessive, ooh, how many subscribers I got today?
Right. You can't do that
anyways.
anyways.
Can't do that. That will kill you.
Yeah. So like, and I was doing that for a while, because, I had a good 6-month run where like I just went up and up and up and up, again, in retrospect of, from 22 subscribers to like 122 in one day. I was like, oh shit, but then now I've come to grips with it. I'm just gonna do it because I enjoy it. If the numbers go, the numbers will go. But I'm not gonna obsess about
You're doing it because it makes you feel good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that. The analytics and I mean, I'll peek at them, see what's working, what doesn't work. But I'm not gonna obsess about it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's another reason why I stopped editing the podcast. I'm like, if I sound dumb, then by God, and then subscribe, because I sound like an idiot. Right.
We're just real people.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it too. You're you, man.
No. Well, thank you. Sorry. Backed off that mic. I was just turning your mic up a little bit. So, yeah, but now, so like, how long did it take you to build your channel to, like, when did you reach like your first like successful number of subs? Like, what would you consider?
I mean, I suppose categorically, 100,000 is the number that you have to reach to get your first official recognition from YouTube. So you get like 100,000 subscriber plaque. Yeah.
Yeah, plaque.
And I don't even remember when that was. I feel like it was a lifetime ago, but it was a cool moment, right? When you reach that milestone and the platform recognizes you for it,
Yeah.
it's almost as if it's like a rebirth in a way, because you got this plaque and you're like, oh shit, they see me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not just a little tiny dot in a sea full of other people uploading videos. Like, I've made it to a substantial point. And then, like, that's just like justification, right? Now you're
Yeah.
like, oh snap,
More motivation.
I'm
Yeah.
an official YouTuber.
There's a fire
Like,
under
I've
your
got
ass.
a plaque. And it's almost as if, like, at that point, it's actually on, right? Like, okay, now that I've got 100,000, the next one is 1 million. And sadly, I haven't reached 1 million yet.
Well,
Right.
You're close. I mean, you're what, a little over 200,000. I mean,
It's
that's
close,
Yeah.
but listen, the life cycle of a digital creator is about as big as the life cycle of a fly.
Right?
Like, in retrospect,
Yeah.
honestly, because you'll see people who like for instance, Jenna Marbles. Nothing against Jenna Marbles. Jenna Marbles is a fantastic creator. Like, and when we were coming up, Jenna Marbles was huge,
yeah.
right? Jenna Marbles is practically gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Smosh, when we were coming up, Smosh was out there. Ed Bassmaster. And,
Of course.
I mean, these people are still around, but there's a point to where, like, a creator can only reach a certain peak. And unless you do something, right, it's the downward trend. And then is the dreaded irrelevant word. You become irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
And no creator wants to reach irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
So, do you think when it comes to that point, do you think keeping starting a separate YouTube channel, much like you have also done, of different audience, or do you think?
Well, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah.
Or do you think like maybe changing what the audience that you are like on the channel that you're already big on?
Yeah.
Do you think which way do you think is the best way to go with that? Like,
I mean, so for instance, my channel, right? I have 670 some thousand subs, and on average, when I post a video, maybe only 6,000 to 7,000 people, sometimes 20, but on average, it's under 10,000. When you reach that ratio, it's bad,
no,
right?
yeah.
So, like, you have a incredible high number of subscribers, but only a low percentage of them are watching your content.
Mm-hmm.
And as
It
far
plays
as the
into that algorithm.
yeah, as far as the algorithm gods are concerned, you are irrelevant. So, I mean, at that point, and there's a lot of speculation, like, at that point, it probably makes sense for you to start something new. I've just been hanging on to my vlog channel just because, you know what I mean? Like, it's a business that you've built, right? You started
Yeah,
this
it's your
for
baby.
nothing.
Of course.
You've put so much, literally, blood, sweat, tears, all this into that one thing. And what are you just supposed to let it die? Just forget about it?
Yeah,
No, you can't.
That's how
It's tough.
That's how I feel about the music. Like I wanted to let it go and be done with it. Walk away. But I was like,
Yeah.
how much time did I put into building this brand? Not even when I went full time. Almost 4 years ago now.
Right.
But the years spent earning to be able to go full time. All the footwork that went into that, and meeting and networking and practicing and doing all that crap. Like, I couldn't let it go, and like
Yeah.
I just had to put myself in a position to where I'd missed it, or didn't look at it like a job, like oh, I gotta go in the office today,
But that's the dream, right? Everybody works towards, like, if you work a regular 9-to-5 job, most people would say, I hate my job.
Yeah.
And they would be just daydreaming of that thing that they could do that fulfills their passion, whether it's music or videography or photography or screenwriting or comedy or whatever it is. People always kind of dream of the grass that's greener on the other side.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, sometimes I feel like there's the notion of, well, okay, but now that I'm over here and this grass is kind of green, and you look over back at that 9 to 5, and you're like, man, structure, stability, consistency.
Yeah.
It's easier,
Mhm.
right? So maybe that grass was green all along. And there's
But
this like,
you still kind of have that same feeling with either path you choose, and I think we've all kind of proved that in a way.
do. Well,
with our
Yeah. I mean, for me,
how
it's
we've lived so far, anyways.
balance.
Right.
yeah.
Are you live? Are you doing your thing right
Yeah.
What is happening? Ukulele in the
Hello.
house. Hey.
now? Miss Beatrice, your work boots smell so bad. I can't be in the bedroom. I'm not touching them because I'm not moving them. So
Okay.
I'm moving outside. Was it too loud in there?
I didn't even hear you.
Perfect. Thanks.
I think she does that on purpose.
What a beach.
She's like, oh, you recording? I just want to tell you, your work boots stink. Also,
What
your
a-
underwear
what
are
a
dirty,
lady.
and
Dang.
you didn't flush the toilet. But to me, balance.
Yep.
You know, the grass is green on both sides. You know, you just got to stay on top of that hill, you know, and balance it. You know, and that's something I'm coming to grips with. You know, I was so relieved to go back to the 9 to 5. You know, but now like I'm filling up my time with doing the podcast because this is like therapy to me. It's becoming therapy to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the film trigger thing, that's fun therapy. You know, that's you know, I get to nerd out with other geeks from across the country and do live watch videos or just do my own thing and look like a dork to everybody else, and I don't give a shit. You know, or I can play Rockstar for a night on stage, and then I go back to, you know, painting walls and
Yeah.
fucking moving gravel around, and you know,
It's like
It's all
Superman,
creative
right?
movement.
It's like Superman.
yeah,
Superman, Clark Kent, has a regular job during the day.
right.
But when he's needed, he just gets to switch gears, change the outfit, and go do the work. Right?
Exactly.
That's right.
Which leads me to my next point.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right?
Become a superhero.
Well, kind of. I feel like it in a way, but I'll elaborate on that. So after you've spent so long, right, on this one path, right? In my situation, it's the vlog channel. You spent so long. I feel like the road to $1 million is paved with shards of glass and
Yeah.
But the definition of insanity, right, is
Repeating
continuously doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Right.
Well, I don't find myself insane.
Nope.
You know? So what I did was I switched gears, right? The pandemic happened, and I'm in my garage, and I'm like, wow, I've got all this cool stuff, all this video stuff. I've been streaming for a long time, so I'm like very well versed in all things content creation and streaming and stuff.
And the technicalities and
Yeah. And I have a lot of friends, Kyle being one of them, who, are musicians, and I've loved music my whole life. Music is a very important thing to me. And so I one day decided, I was like, I'm going to see if I can pull off a proper live stream where we play music. And it literally was just me, and I'm not that great a musician. I'll be the first to...
And Matt.
And Matt, yeah.
And Matt.
My short friend, Matt. He's vertically challenged.
Did I meet Matt?
Matt's amazing. You should.
He's an
you should
amazing
do.
drummer,
You
yeah.
should do a podcast with
I
Matt.
just- I mean,
Matt is wild.
I can't remember. I can't remember the people's names who were there when I came in before.
Yeah,
but I can't
he's
remember if
a-
he was there or not.
He's like a traveling surgical nurse or something
Well, the
like that.
guy, the guy I talked to, he was really curious about being on the podcast. And I'm like, you sure? Like, I have like 5 followers on that channel.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, you seem so cool. I come talk to you. I'm trying to figure out if that's Matt or not, but I can't
I
remember.
don't know.
I
Can't remember the guy's name. He owned a business. I do that. I do know that.
Oh no, not that Matt.
I do know he owned a business. So
No. So, but Matt and I was like, Matt, I need someone to do drums for me for this little test I want to do. And I had this little mixer, kind of like that one, and I just put a mic into it, got my guitar and my pedal, and ran that into the mixer. And then Matt has like a Roland, digital drum kit, and we hooked it up and we got everything fired up, and by God, it worked. And I was like, oh shit, this is actually a really cool idea. What can I do with this? And so was born Garage Vans Live.
That's awesome, and that's a great thing. I enjoyed the hell out of it when I went on there.
Dude, it's gotten
as I
even-
said, I wasn't expecting it. I mean, you guys were like, "Here, send us your Venmo handle and all this stuff." I'm like, no, this one's
Yeah.
for you guys.
Right,
not knowing
right.
what I was getting myself into, like,
It's grown so much too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Even since you've been,
It's
oh
evolved.
yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it.
Honestly, like, I'm so in tune with it. I talk to these guys daily, pretty much. I mean, we got a group chat going and we communicate, but it's still like every time I go out there, there's something new going on, and I'm talking to these people every day. I mean, it's insane the passion that individually all of us together really have for this.
yeah,
Man, that's what it takes is passion. You need passion.
Yeah.
If you're going into it just for the numbers and the dollar sign, it's not what's gonna work.
No, you're in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
If
So,
you're doing
We're
something
not
that
in
you
it for
love-
that at all. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're doing something that you love, just do it.
Just do
right? If you're doing something that you love to do and you're good at it, the money will come to you, right? It's been a proven fact.
Mhm.
The money will come to you. But if you're doing it just for the money, it's going to turn bad real quick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that goes pretty much for, I mean, most things, unless you're like in stock market or something, But like,
Well, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's
To the moon.
I think what you guys are doing is awesome. Yeah, I remember when I first, went there and I saw what you were doing, it kind of mirrored an idea of something I wanted to do. Not exactly. But I was like, man, this guy really has the equipment that I would need to implement what I wanted to do. I had a very rough sketch of what I wanted to do. I still want to do, actually. And maybe I'll discuss with that with you at another time. But like, it was initially the same thing, showcasing a band and doing interviews with the band, but I wanted to do it live at a specific place,
At a venue.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think right before COVID hit, I was talking to like the Loft hotels or something like that.
Yeah, with the Telltales thing that
Yes,
I've been-
exactly.
yeah, I was on
Telltales.
that.
Yeah, I wanted to rebirth Telltales into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Good memory.
look at me.
So like when I watch what you guys are doing, I really admire that, and I think it's great. Like when I saw that, I'm like, well, shit. I guess I don't really need to do this anymore. All right, these guys are doing. It's exposure. It's giving musicians, a platform that they wouldn't have, and that's what I wanted to provide. But you guys are doing that, and I think that's fucking amazing.
Well, to be honest, it's almost like if you wanted to do that by yourself, it would take you much longer than it would if you did it with a bunch of people who collectively provided the whole package.
Yeah.
Right? So like I have spent my life savings pretty much on video gear and computers, and I've spent all my time understanding video and streaming and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eric, which was an add-on after we started, Eric, he's from Sticky Pack
Eric was
Productions.
always in mind.
Yeah, right?
He was always in my
So-
mind.
And we went to school together, right? So Kyle and I went to school together. Eric and I went to school together. Like, it's kind of like it's a complete reversal.
Mm-hmm.
But Eric has spent his life savings and time understanding sound, audio engineering, and all that.
Yep.
And he's got all these crazy cool lights and stuff. I just started it with like 4 light bars that I shot up the back of a
Yeah,
curtain wall.
Eric's the guru with that stuff.
I think I was there for the light bars.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which was fine. I mean, I guess it was kind of okay, but
I get see these used to be my stage lights, bro.
Right,
Like I
yeah.
get that.
you work with what you got, really.
Right.
But then like when you add all these people who have a specific talent,
Mm-hmm.
right, together, And
You
I
add value.
kept saying this the other night at Brushy Fork in my head. I kept saying, and I actually tweeted it. I was like, who's the cartoon character who said, "With our powers combined"?
Oh, that was that fucking
Captain Planet.
I was like Captain America. I was like, no, that's not right. That's not right. Yeah, Captain Planet.
Yeah, so I was like, with our powers combined, literally, it's so true. We can conquer anything. And Kyle's such an important part of this too, because Kyle is deeply embedded. He spent his time and energy stayed in the music scene.
Yeah.
And he does his own thing. He's networking with all these musicians, and he knows the scene better than any of us. So he's helping to kind of cultivate,
Like a secret agent.
and find the people who are looking to play, which isn't hard right now because of the way that things have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's starting to get. I mean, people are out there doing their thing now. I mean, there are a lot of bands that are playing shows, and you know, we've been on this strict schedule. We've been doing Thursdays and Fridays for a full year now. Is that what?
I'm pretty sure it's
Which is
here.
pretty insane. Yeah.
Yeah. So even through the pandemic, we've been able to safely host a band, whether it's a solo artist or a full band. We've done metal in the garage.
Any genre.
Yeah.
Any
I mean,
genre.
If you play music and you love what you do and you know it, we'll have you out. That's just what we do.
but it almost seems like it was a perfect storm. You know, for when the pandemic happened, you guys are just starting this live stream thing. It almost seems like that worked out for you.
It was because of the pandemic.
Oh, is that
right?
it?
If the pandemic never happened, I don't really think garage bands would have happened.
Really? Okay.
Seriously, it was the only catalyst.
I mean,
that-
we had talked about it in the past of trying to do something at a venue and trying to do something like that, but you know, at the time it was just venues weren't even thinking of that.
No,
They
not
weren't
at all.
thinking of having a camera crew come in and put it on the internet before the pandemic. And we
Yeah,
had
but
actually had discussions of something like that.
Yeah, see,
trying
that's-
to make it happen.
That's what I was wanting to do, and I was wanting
Yeah.
to create a culture. You know, like, oh, you want to go to, you know, so and so place. Well, I want to sit at home, but let's check it out on their channel. You know, and like
Yeah,
watch
and I
the
feel like
show live. You know,
there was a movement there, and it
Yeah.
just. But it's
Could-
definitely a catalyst to where we're at now.
It's been
And
crucial.
I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's going to intertwine with the live music scene, and in time it's going to be, you're not going to see a show somewhere that hasn't been shot live at the same time. You know, your bigger shows. I just feel like once the money and everything gets involved and unfortunately embedded into it, I think live streams going to be there forever.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Remember the open mics that I did?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was a fucking nightmare. Yeah, because I did live streams. Or when the pandemic first hit, I was doing a live stream open mic,
Yep.
and I would sit there and, you know, use my platform and just have 3 people waiting in the background, and they would just come on. Okay, we got so and so next, and then put them up. And it was a nightmare because the show would last for maybe like an hour, 2 hours, about 2.5 hours actually. But I'd spend about 30 hours a week troubleshooting everybody's camera and sound issues.
Yeah.
You know, and some people just couldn't even do it. You know, and it was not worth that time for me. Like, because that's something I would have to do every time, is sit there and troubleshoot.
Yeah.
You kind of doubled your workload.
Oh yeah,
For putting on an open mic and having people coming out.
oh,
And
oof.
you're like,
Yeah. But now I have a different concept of how that would work. You just have people send us pre-recorded videos and just use those. But you guys ever thought about branching that out and like, or not even branching, but like maybe like for an audience, like a live audience, to be in that
Yeah, so
recording?
Funny
in
you
the-
say
in the
that.
future, we would like to invest in like video walls and LED video walls. Like you see them at big stadiums, right? You're watching a show,
Yeah.
and you can see what's happening on the stage on the video
Yeah.
wall as well.
yeah.
To be able to show up to a live event and offer just the video service, because if you have a huge crowd, you need cameras watching the stage that you can put up on a screen so that the people in the back can still see it. Right? Now that's already a service.
Yeah, it's already.
Right? That's not anything new. But I think where we're trying to like flex is showing up to somewhere like Brushy Fork, right? Which we did this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Brushy Fork to test our new road case we got. We built out our gear into a simplified case that all we have to do is show up, put this case on a table, take the lids off, and plug in a couple cables, and we're ready to go.
Yeah.
And we can do it over a mobile connection and
Same quality of sound
still
and
look
video.
good and sound good.
And burn through half your mobile,
And burn through my data
your
plan.
data plan. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So we're now searching for the right data provider, because I think even if you have unlimited, which my plan is unlimited, if you go over what's it, 15,
It still slows.
15 gigs. If you use more than 15 gigs, they throttle it to 600 kilobits per second, which is not good enough to stream on.
Well, maybe there's like a business plan that you can fall under.
Well, there's Starlink. Elon is a visionary and a genius. He's got all
there's
these satellites
there's
up there.
solutions to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a visionary and a genius. Guy scares the shit out of me though.
I know, right? Let's put this computer chip in your brain.
Well, not just that. But I don't know. Like when I watched the podcast with him and stuff. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like I find what he talks about so interesting, and I can tell like he's wheels are turning in his
Oh,
head.
yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, what is he not saying?
Right.
There's something sneaky. I don't know what it is. I could be wrong.
I know.
But he scares me a little bit.
Some
sorry
people,
to
some people
derail,
kind of
but-
feel like they have two brains. There's a guy at work, and I swear, I don't know. It always pops in my head every time I'm having a conversation with him, is that there's like another brain thinking while he's talking to me and we're doing this. Like he's not even really here. Like he's just blabber. Yeah, he's just humoring me basically.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's a thing, man.
But yeah, I think that like people have asked me, what's gonna happen with garage bands when people can actually play shows again? And trust me, I've thought about it, because the amount of fun that we have doing this, it's literally the thing we look forward to every week.
Mm-hmm.
We know that we can get together, have a few beers, and put on a super awesome live performance for any artist who can walk in here. So it's like
That's
been
the
on my
most
mind.
rewarding thing is seeing the artists and the bands come in and their freaking happiness and excitement over it. You know that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
You don't always get to do that when you're a musician.
We're generating so much usable, valuable material for any artist. Like, listen, as someone who's come from the digital age, I've been on YouTube doing content creation for about 10 years. I know how important it is to create digital assets, no matter what you're doing.
Right.
Right.
And that's what you're creating for these
It's
musicians.
crucially important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you want to grow, and in this context of 2021, you should be having some sort of digital presence, right? Almost everybody's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a band, you gotta have a
Instagram,
Facebook page, you
Facebook.
gotta have an Instagram page, you gotta have a TikTok, you gotta have a Snapchat, you gotta have Instagram, you know, all those things.
Yeah.
What are you gonna put on it? You know what I mean? Is it always gonna be just you holding your phone up and catching these casual moments, which is fine, but like, let's say you want to step up and take your band to the next level, you're gonna have to have some sort of like professional photography or some video clips that you can use for a highlight reel.
Professional sound.
Literally, when we do a show, we record the multi-track of every instrument, a photo package, the full video for when you're done, and kind of the dream goal was to accumulate this large audience, so every time a good band comes in, they bring their audience to our platform. And my goal is to impress them, right?
Yeah.
Every show we do, I want to make sure we leave a positive impression. Not only the band, but the audience watching. So that way, next week, when Stevie Cade comes in, he's playing to his audience plus the week audience before.
Yeah.
Right.
and then you wash, rinse, and repeat
Yeah,
that over and over.
the whole
until-
plan, our
Building
whole
an
plan is
audience
to
on
build a
both ends.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
'cause-
want a community
Yeah.
of people
because I think like
like-minded,
if
wanting
you
to do the
watch
same
music
thing,
and you love music,
supporting each other.
you're gonna be
Yeah.
consuming music on a live. I think there's no better way to watch a band than live. It's
Right,
just
right, you can interact. You can like when I was
Yeah.
there,
Yeah,
people
that's
like,
another
oh,
cool
can
thing.
you play this song? And then what? Tom Klein was on there, like he was
Yeah.
in the comments, like, hey Stevie,
Yeah.
like, hey, what's up, Tom? Like, yeah, it was again like a community or as
Interactive.
or, like I said, like that
Exactly.
culture that you build.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's very different too. Like it's not just it's apples to oranges. Right? If you go play a show at a venue, right, you're performing in front of those people, and then you can look at those people,
Yeah.
and you might be able to see their mouths moving, but you don't hear them, right? Typically,
Right. You're not getting their text bubbles of what they're saying.
exactly.
You just-
That's why
yeah.
we put a
Right.
screen up on stage so you guys can, like, for those listening, you can watch the stream, message the actual artist, and see it. Like, have the artist see what you're saying. I think is super cool and unique. Like, that's awesome.
That is great. I mean, a lot of people have discovered that even in their own like houses, with the pandemic and everything.
Right.
Everyone going live on Facebook,
Yeah.
doing that stuff. I think people are seeing the benefits of that.
I think
for sure. I mean,
a lot of us have become hermits too, in a sense. At least I'm feeling that way.
I definitely feel that way.
A lot of my friends are feeling that way. You just feel a little more comfortable at home and not going out because of everything that's been going on. So
Right.
we've
So-
resorted to more content.
So when do we get this hybrid? When do we get the hybrid of
What's
okay, well, I don't want to be a
good?
hermit anymore. I'm actually going to go out somewhere and see a show.
Yeah.
So what if that show you're watching is now a show you can go see live in
I know.
person
I feel
and and see it virtually if you decide to be a hermit and stay at home?
Yep.
At what point in time do you play into
So
both
that
of those
brings us
elements?
to the new hybrid.
That's what we've been doing.
So I think we've been conditioned to consume live music or content in general in this way from the pandemic. So having, like, let's say you've got a band playing and we as Garage Bands Live come to stream it, right? So it's happening live on a device. So I mean, right now currently a venue is they're only at like 50% capacity.
Right.
So they can only fit so many people, and you can only
And
sell.
they can only pay the artist so much money.
Yeah, exactly. So it's almost like the capacity at which you can make money as a band or a venue, both.
Yeah, we go
Has
in
been
there,
limited.
and as a band, I mean, just for me, for being a musician myself, I could go to a venue and get paid what they're gonna pay me and play my show, get a few tips here and there. But then I could also have it live streamed,
Yeah.
and I could get paid virtually by anybody. I mean, you just never know what's out there. And even if you're not getting paid,
It's the
which I want to
reach.
take that away, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you're not getting paid, you're seeing so many people out there are seeing what you're doing right there in Ohio for us. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but on the other end of that, there's people that do this for a living. There's people that need that money.
They
They're-
need
you
that
know,
money.
it-
Yeah.
and they their careers have been greatly affected
Oh, yeah.
by being
Mhm.
shut down. So it wouldn't be selfish to think, well, I
Right.
can also have a revenue by going live streaming also.
No, it's
that's-
almost like the replacement of the cut and the
Yeah.
amount of people who can come to your show.
It's
No, cool.
switching the services that you're providing. It's just changing it up. Okay, well, you cut this in half, so we're going to take that other half and be able to provide it to them who aren't here.
Right.
Yeah.
So now
Listen,
you split that.
That was the heartbeat of garage bands from the very beginning, because I personally need music in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It touches all of us in a different way. When we're sad, we
I
listen
think
to
it just
sad
touched
music.
me.
Then that was me.
Oh, that was you.
So when you're sad, you listen to a
saw
sad
that.
song,
I
or if
saw
you're
it.
happy, you listen to something happy. You know what I mean? Like, music is super important. It's almost like alcohol survived prohibition for a reason.
Right.
So should music, right?
Yeah.
And I knew that I wanted to see live music, and I know personally friends who were devastated by, well, fuck, we don't have a job now,
Yeah.
basically. And the whole mission behind it was
that
to...
was
your
me.
Servers
Yeah.
out there, anybody.
Yeah,
that,
dude, everything. Everyone's been
I
impacted.
mean, I had a full booked summer.
Yep.
Then I'd played maybe like 4 shows of it,
Right?
because it was all shut down. It was nobody was doing it, and it was almost like scary. Hey, you guys still doing live music? And people just like, shh,
Yeah.
yeah, but be quiet about it. Don't
Yeah,
promote
yeah,
it.
underground
So
shit.
now you can't promote it. Like, the little speakeasy style of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
No,
it's
I
crazy, but it's smart to again, figure out where your audience is and be able to provide them. Now, I do have a question for you.
Oh, yes.
Specifically, like, I've been very curious how the copyright stuff works out with your live music. Like
You're talking to that guy?
you had Zack Attack on there, or
Right.
Zack Attack.
Yep.
Which
Shout out to Zack Attack.
yeah, shout out to Chad.
Yeah.
Chad Greenwald. He actually
And
books
Russell.
me.
Don't forget Russell.
He books me at a few places
My
here
man.
and there too.
Mhm.
But he you have them on.
Mhm.
How does that work
So
for you?
I had to go back and forth for a long time on Twitch, looking at the terms of service, right? Because
And that's what you mainly go on now is Twitch, right?
we
That's-
multicast on
okay.
Twitch and Facebook,
Mhm.
right? But so like think of it this way, like if you can, and I've checked into it, right? In the fine print on Twitch's TOS, you are allowed to cover copyrighted material as long as you don't use any actually recorded audio. It has to be performed live.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Has to be reenacted.
So you
and
can't have any
performed live.
playback.
So like for instance, if somebody had a previously recorded track
Right.
and they wanted to play that while they were performing, that would be a no-no.
Yeah, I would tell them no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because the gray area is so
Yeah.
like
It picks it up.
DMCA is so
Facebook's very touchy with that as well.
Even if it's a even if I recorded my own backtracking and used that,
right.
would that still fall?
it
I
would
think that would be
complicated.
okay. I think that would
I
be
mean,
okay.
yeah. If you were playing your own guitar, you know what I mean?
Right, but using
Which we've had that.
Yeah.
I mean, we had what did we have? We had Doug and Happy Tooth.
Right.
They came on and
Yeah,
they
and
played
they made their own
sick
track.
ass beats and tracks behind it, and then they did their vocals over top of it, and nothing got flagged.
Mhm.
So I mean, we
If
can't
you-
do stuff like that.
If you think about it in the most simple sense, it's not an artist is trying to rip off another artist.
No.
Right? Usually when someone covers a song by somebody else, they say, now and this song is, and they tell you who the artist is.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's just commonly knowledge, but it's acceptable to obviously credit,
the artist.
Yeah.
an artist when you cover their work.
Yeah, and Twitch has been very acceptable with that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a blessing, honestly.
I
I mean, without
wonder-
those restrictions holding us back doing our thing, like we can have bands come in, we can have cover bands come in and play their whole entire set and not get flagged.
Yeah. I wonder at what point in time, it's going to get greedy. I can't remember the initials, but those the music people that go out to bars and say, "Well, you can't have live music."
BMI?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Like
Them
well,
jukebox owners?
Yeah, I wonder at what point in time are they going to start, infringing on situations
Yeah,
like
I don't
this?
know.
I don't
I-
think it's gonna happen, honestly, with the
Never say
platform.
never. Never say never. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna
how many places have I played at before? I can't count where they're like, "Hey, just be easy on the promoting. BMI's up our ass right now."
Yeah.
Or I even got a place in trouble once. I didn't, but they didn't pay the BMI thing. But like,
Right.
they're like, "Well, they saw your live stream and we got hit."
Right.
And that was just me, going live on Facebook for like a song.
I feel
Right.
like
You
this
know.
is part of this new movement. I mean, we're right at the beginning of it, so we don't truly understand it. I feel like generations to come are gonna see. We've been through this shit before. When we were kids, we were on cassette tapes, and people were hardly playing shows anywhere. You know what I mean? I mean, we had your big stars, but it wasn't a thing.
I think there's gonna have to be some.
It's evolving right now as we speak.
But there has to be some accountability. I mean, from the the one hit wonder who's depending on these paychecks from the replay service of their songs. They're or your big heads like Eric Clapton, who is
right. How do you control
a big
that?
is a big proponent of like BMI and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, let's talk about it in the sense of capital.
Yeah.
Right. We don't make money off of the stream.
Nope.
Right. We only earn.
We don't charge.
We
bands.
earn. Yeah, we don't charge. We earn off of the contributions of others who want to tip to support the show.
Support us and
Right.
the
To
band.
support garage bands.
That's that fine line. That's
Right.
that loophole, if you will.
But then again, any artist on the street playing music will get $1 in a hat for playing whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I remember. I'm not going to say his name here, but
That's good.
yeah, there's a musician that he would have contracts saying that this establishment is renting my sound equipment, not what I play through it.
Oh
yeah?
wow.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's how he went.
That's kind of like the. What do you mail yourself something?
Yeah, the
and
poor
it's
man copyright.
The poor man copyright.
Yeah,
in a sense.
Yeah, it's a loophole,
Yeah.
and I think poor man copyright has been proven to like actually not work in certain cases.
No, I
So
don't think so.
at some point in time, judges
may have
are
never
just
worked.
like,
I don't
okay. I mean, it
Yeah.
should work. Everything about it should work. I
Yeah.
recorded this. Here's the date on it.
Such trickery.
Right. Well, if you think about how much money people have lost, you lost in 2020 from the loss of work or gigs or whatever, how much money a national act lost, and all the
Crushing for
people
them.
who rely on that national act, like stage crews,
Heck
and
yeah,
sound
they
guys,
probably
and all
got
that
20 people behind.
and venues and all
scenes,
this.
yeah.
Like,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
like,
Vendors.
if you're not able to tour to make money, right? And this is for all the record companies out there who are saying we want our paycheck. You can still get your paycheck, right? You're just gonna have to do it differently,
Yeah.
right?
Right now, we got to do it digitally.
Now it's a kind of like a cooperative effort. If you can't sell tickets to 10,000 people in person, you sure as hell can sell tickets to 20,000 people online
Yeah.
easily. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I paid, what was it, 65 or 70 bucks to watch Conor McGregor
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
knee
say.
Cowboy Cerrone in the face for
Yeah.
like 15 seconds.
They're kind of paving the way for them for
Like,
for
honestly.
music. Think
Yeah.
about it.
But
I mean, and that benefits everybody because your tickets prices are lower.
Yeah.
Because the cost
Less overhead.
The cost, less overhead. And so that benefits the audience and that benefits the musicians or the
So
fights or the whoever.
So here's the thing, though, that I want to point out. The hardest part about this is being the people that are providing this service right now,
right.
because we're not, we've got all these awesome bands coming out, right? We're putting out all this badass content, all these bands maybe you haven't heard of, maybe they're your favorite band, or something like that, but this is off of other people's livelihoods. Like Chase has spent his whole life getting all this equipment. Eric spent his life learning all this knowledge and having all his equipment and all this stuff, and it's like it's just a tough spot right now. How are we going to be able to pay all of us and keep this going?
Right.
You know what I mean? We just got to
creative
keep
problems need creative solutions.
I feel like we're doing every bit of it, and I think that it's all across the world. I mean, live streams are happening everywhere. People are building it up, and it's a movement.
Yeah, I think when I don't know when things go back to normal, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never been normal, so I don't.
I know
what
this has been a breeze for
what
us,
is
huh?
that? Yeah, I feel all right.
Yeah, fucking introverts around the world are like, what's the big deal, man? I've been staying home my whole life.
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be a creative merger with businesses and like people doing the footwork like you gentlemen here. You know, there has to be a creative merger with that, and that's again like something that I was trying, not in this light, but something I was trying to come up with, like, you know, this idea that I've been sitting on since Telltale days when I
Right.
first met you, and
Yep,
you know, and
that's how we met.
yeah, and did a video of you at you know the Barrel Bar.
Yeah.
You know, it was something that I've been wanting to do for so long, and now it seems like the perfect platform, you know, universally to actually pull this off. And I don't know. I'm gonna dive down my own rabbit hole there because it's still
You're fine,
it's still
man,
a passion
yeah.
that I have. But like, you know, seeing you guys, I get excited. Like, oh my god, you guys could do this. You guys could pull this off. You know, of creating that culture of, you know, the traveling, you know, service that you have. You know, going from following a certain band or many other bands, or even establishing yourself at one place,
Right.
you know, and creating your culture there. Well, either you can come in and see us live or watch us at home, you know, and interact with the band virtually. You know, that there's something to that I'm
It's
sure
amazing,
somebody's going to
isn't
make a
it?
lot of money off of, and hopefully it's you guys. You know,
It's gonna be a thing.
I want everyone to make money off of it eventually,
Absolutely.
but just to be able to bring in some hidden jewel that you may have seen out with your friends one night playing at a bar back in the day, you know what I mean? That artist, it was like, God, I love that. Shit's been in my head. I looked him up. I followed him.
yeah.
And for us to be able to showcase that weekly to people, not just right here at that local bar, across the fucking world, man. I mean,
So what if things never open up again?
I mean, we'll be
What if there's
We'll be
another?
good.
What if there's another resurgence of, you know, all this and
that's not going to stop what we're doing. And I feel like
I
that,
know everything that we do is kind of fluid because there is no guarantee.
no,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think people have come to realize
it's a
that.
hustle.
Yeah.
We just went to an outdoor music venue and did a live stream, just like spur of the moment. Our sound guy had booked a gig for himself doing it, you know, and my band actually played there coincidentally. It was for a couple artists that had been in our stream.
Yep.
And it introduced us to a brand new family out at Brushy Fork. It just came full circle this weekend.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see that happen. Bigger things could happen for every one of us involved in that.
So are you gonna be with? Are you gonna follow them to you guys at Louis this Thursday?
We're at Flip Flops, yeah.
Flip Flops. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was
my band. No,
I
we're
was-
not.
I was at Louis talking to Breezy, and she said you guys were at Flip Flops. That's where I got Louis from.
Yeah,
I think I'll stop out Thursday if I can make it, because I mean you're
I hope
two
so,
se-
dude.
two
Yeah,
seconds from
right
my
down
house,
the
yeah.
road.
Fuck yeah.
I'll pick you up. I'll take you out there. I'll drop you off when we're done.
You can pick me up. Shit, yeah, then I can drink. All right.
Yeah, there you go. But no, it's just amazing to see everything. Like I feel like it's working, man. Whatever we're doing, Chase. Whatever you're doing, whatever.
I told Eric today. I was like, look at that. I always say this analogy about a bamboo forest,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's that two farmers, one would create a corn crop and the other would create a bamboo forest. And then the guy that grows the corn, his corn will grow, right? But it also dies every year, right? So it'll grow and it'll die. And the bamboo forest, it just takes a long time to sprout. A long time. But still, every day, the farmer for the bamboo forest will go out and he'll water that crop, never knowing when it's going to pop. And then the corn farmer is just growing corn. Some of it makes it, some of it dies. It's just this never-ending cycle. But eventually, if you put enough time into it and consistency, and you go out and you water that bamboo forest every single day, never knowing when exactly it's going to pop, eventually it will pop. And that bamboo forest will be tall and mighty and stronger than any corn crop could ever grow. And I feel it, like I really, and I've been preaching these boys. I was like, the bamboo forest is going to grow.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's actually just a good advice for
You can put that
any
to
content
so
creator
much.
or anybody who's doing
Yeah, yeah,
anything. I mean, that's like I put that to like
Share that with your children.
I put that to
I mean,
I put that to Film Trigger when you were saying it. Like Film Trigger. Like when I decided just to stop looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
Like yeah, just let it. If maybe it will pop, maybe it won't. Who knows? I'll just keep watering it. We'll see.
The number one most important thing.
You got to go pee? Oh,
Kyle's
okay.
gotta pee.
I couldn't hear you. I just wanted to make sure.
The most important piece of advice, because people ask me all the time, what would you tell someone who wanted to get into content creating or being a YouTuber or whatever it is? And the number one most important piece of advice is consistency.
Yeah.
And if you really, really want it, and you put in the time, and you say every Monday at 3 p.m., I will have something going up.
Yeah. That's something I used to follow. And then when the pandemic happened, it fell to the wayside. And now I've been like struggling to get that consistency back. I've been doing like little things like, Thriller Thursday, where I'll do thriller movies on Thursday. But like, again, just doing all the editing, it's in 40-hour week, relationship, kids, work.
Oh, yeah.
It becomes difficult for me. And so I'm constantly trying to reimagine, okay, what do I want to do with Film Trigger?
Right.
And now starting this week, I'm trying a new thing. Like, okay, well, I'm going to put out a review for a classic movie. This week will be 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh.
And then we'll do a live watch party on Saturday of that movie with other YouTubers from, wherever. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine, Chris Durbin, runs a channel, Durbania, out in California. He's going to be joining me.
That's awesome.
So now it's something like, okay, I can do a quick review, get that out, but instead of stressing about another, video I have to edit, I can just live stream it and, decompress, from having to, get that next edited video out. I just press go live, and here we are. It's evolving, to try to figure out,
I think the more you do it, the more you figure out, like once you're in the process of creating whatever it is that you make, you figure out at points, I really think that this would be cool here. And then the next time you film it, you try that.
Yeah.
And it works or it doesn't work. And you either keep it or scrap it, or you come up with a new idea. And constantly innovating is the best, number one most way you're going to evolve.
Yeah.
And evolving, like I said before, you can still do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result.
Yeah.
Or you could switch gears and do something that you'd never done before and just see what happens.
Right. I never did a live watch party on my channel until 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was the first time I'd ever done it, and since then I'm like, well, shit, I'll do another one. And now I'm doing that. Now I fell in love with that aspect of it, and I went all out. You'll have to see the video. I made a whole introduction, opening for it. But yeah, so yeah, the whole watering thing makes. I really applied that to my current situation with Film Trigger. It's like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out, but whatever. So, Mr. Gilroy, what outside of content creating, what do you do? What are your secret passions? Or do you have any secret passions?
Oh, my secret passion? All right. Well, I'll tell you my...
I know a few.
My latest, most favorite secret passion is I fly FPV drones. I've always been into drones.
Yeah, I saw, you were showing me. Yeah, because
I just put a new module on my custom 5-inch.
Yeah, you built you built pieces to them.
Yeah.
You 3D print them at your studio.
Yeah, I 3D print the parts that don't come with it, and a lot of these you have to buy, 2 parts at one place and
Yeah.
2 parts at a different place, and you got to kind of
Frankenstein
source
it
it.
together.
Yeah. But when you put it all together and you create it's people do freestyle or racing with these things, and I'm into the cinematography of it because FPV just is a really cool look.
Well, that's and that's another aspect for
Oh
your
yeah.
Garage Band Live that you can put in there. Yeah.
We're
Maybe, yeah.
almost ready. Yeah.
Yeah,
we're close.
I'm still
We've
trying to
been-
do one
yeah.
show where I plug in a receiver to the board and
We-
actually pipe in a drone
We
that
might
I
have
fly
to
around on stage. I
Make
thought
some
that'd be cool.
liability paperwork for people to sign, but
The little one
Yeah,
isn't
no.
that dangerous, but yeah,
just in case.
Just put a net over everybody.
Yeah.
Just put a net.
right. But it's amazing, dude. It's as close as you can get to being or having that feeling of flying like a bird, because you're looking into these goggles, right? So
Right. Like
It
VR
is
type
amazing.
of goggles, right? They work like VR goggles. Like you just
Kinda,
put 'em
yeah.
on. Yeah. I've never put them on, so I don't know what.
it's
basically
basically
makes you the drone. I mean, reality.
yeah. I
of it,
mean, you can't
you're the
turn your
fucking
head
drone.
and turn the drone.
Yeah.
But it's just like a TV screen, but
Right.
up on your face.
Man, wouldn't that be cool though?
That'd be
If you
pretty
could,
sick.
if you just turn your head and the fucking drone would just
Hey,
follow.
eventually, I think
I don't know.
might
That would
happen.
also be very dangerous. Somebody tickles you and that thing goes
Sneeze.
flying everywhere else. Yeah. You
Yeah.
sneeze. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a little problematic now that I think about
be
it.
bad.
I mean, flying cars,
Still fun.
flying anything is problematic. That's one thing I've always said. Like when they talk about like,
Yeah.
oh, where's our flying cars at, man? I'm like, fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
I don't trust cars on the ground.
I know, right?
And I mean, could you imagine the shit that would happen if you had flying cars above you?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, just even a fender bender is detrimental
You
to
fall
anybody below you.
asleep,
Yeah.
float up into space and get lost in the atmosphere. I mean,
Hey, that needs to be some lyrics to a song right there.
Float up into space, get lost in the
atmosphere.
atmosphere.
gonna be some bongo drums.
Is this where I pull out the joint? Yeah.
Is this Joe Rogan?
Honestly, I mean, where's the joke?
No, I don't have one.
Damn.
I think I have a bowl back here. I don't think there's anything in it. No, I when it comes to smoking, I can't do that and people at the same time. It freaks me out.
Respect that.
No, well, let me rephrase that. I can if I have like a few beers in me first. But
Okay,
like if
okay.
I go in cold turkey and I smoke a joint or something, I just somebody could cut a fart and I'm just thinking I just figured out life because of it, you know.
Oh god.
I'm just like
No.
I was like, man, you just showed me God, bro. You know, like I
You're
think
like,
so
I need
deep
to stay
that like,
away from people.
well, you would find me in the corner just staring off like
Your insides are now outside. Ooh, I can smell your inner aura.
I say we next time we just do it and see what happens.
just
Oh.
do it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
I mean, I'm always down for experimental.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
like
Can you imagine?
But yeah,
honestly no. I think it'd be crazy.
I don't know. It could be either crazy or absolutely boring because I won't talk.
Oh,
I will just sit here and just be like, "What?" it can. If I had a few beers in me, then I'm talkative. But if I don't, I'm not talkative. I'm just overthinking, overanalyzing.
Mhm.
You know, that's why I'm not a huge pot smoker. That's why I like that. You know, people I work with get high and they're like, "Oh, dude, you want to get high and go to work?" I'm like, fuck no,
Right.
dude. I got high and went to work one time in my life, about 15 years ago. That was
Never
an
again.
that was an embarrassment. I walked in like, okay, you got this, man. You got this. You don't need to stress. Just be yourself. Be yourself. And I walked in and I
Right.
started telling him, my boss, like, oh, how you doing? Here's the story of the day and all this stuff. And in the middle of my story, I completely forgot what I was talking about. And like to the point to where I had to, I just had to fess up. I'm like, I don't remember what I was talking about. I'm sorry. And then I went to the bathroom and like, okay, don't ever come to work stoned again. So
I can't do it.
no, I can't.
I can't. Certain public situations, just no. I don't know what. I feel like back in the day, there used to be those old guys that would come in and they'd just smoke a little bit and be like, no, I'm good, and then go away. And like, back when we were kids, like that wasn't the case at all. We were trying to make it disappear.
When we were kids.
Yeah.
We can say that,
But
now.
now,
I mean it.
yeah, but nowadays it's just like I don't need it like that.
Yeah, one thing I really enjoy about smoking is it makes me deep think. And that's why I'll sit and
It's
just
therapeutic.
I just deconstruct I'm a very vivid dreamer, and
Yeah, we've spoke.
yeah
We've spoke about
we've spoke about this before. Yes. Yeah, I'm a very vivid dreamer, and to the point to where I'll keep a dream journal, and
I know.
and go back and just try to analyze what the fuck does that mean? Why was I holding this white owl up on a cross? Why it was trying to bite me? What the fuck? What does that mean?
Crazy, yeah.
I don't know. So I'll sit and try to deconstruct those when I'm high, and that's almost counterproductive. I almost go too deep.
You get lost in it.
Well, I think I want to find a connection. I think I want to find that beyond regular consciousness connection with whatever is happening in my dreams. I want to find, come up with a good reason why I'm seeing the things I see in my dreams.
Of course.
There's theories of people having, multiple dimensions, multiple universes, things going like that. And when you dream about certain things, you're dreaming about something that you're doing in a different universe.
Right.
And things like that. You're those two, that other you and that other universe are connecting for a moment.
Yeah.
And I think that is also not just present for, just you and multiple universes, but I think people will have dreams through the eyes of somebody else on this planet. There's, and this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous, but I've had dreams where multiple dreams where I was on the set of a TV show that I watch, growing up, but I'm there,
and watching your
right.
life happen.
No. I'm just part of the crew,
Wow.
or part of the cast or whatever. Oh, we're about to record this, and I'll turn around, I'll see the set that I see on TV. I'll turn around, and then I'll see the stage lights and stuff. But it's happened so frequently. I'm like,
it's wild.
I'm like, am I connected to somebody on that fucking set? And when you start, interpreting dreams and going down that rabbit hole, it's it's actually remarkable how many people, talk about that. Well, I've had a dream where I thought I was here and there or whatever. And then my friend described a situation and that they described my dream. And I was like, well, I was there. I experienced what you went through.
Right.
And I don't know. There's this whole deep-seated connection with dreams that I love.
I've always been fascinated with all of that, but I don't know what it is. I know that I dream, but I don't remember my dreams.
I don't remember them anymore.
I don't recollect
I used to.
There are moments where I'll have little, stuff pop in, oh wow, okay. But
I think I go through waves.
I never just wake up and remember everything, and I know there's people out there that do. Every morning they remember.
That's the
something.
point of the dream journal. If you make it a habit to wake up and write down what you do remember, you'll eventually start remembering more.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat thing.
The most recurring dream that I ever had was I would be chased by a giant. Right?
Like a giant, like
a giant something, yeah.
Oh.
I was being chased by a giant something. And, you ever had those dreams where, you're running away?
Yeah.
But you're not really going
anywhere.
anywhere.
You're going super slow. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing isn't going slow. I'm going slow. And it always captured me.
And what would you wake up when it captured you?
Yep.
Yeah.
That or I always remember dreaming about falling from rafters.
Specifically rafters.
Specifically rafters, yeah.
I've had dreams of falling off.
I've never had a reoccurring dream.
Bro.
I've had a few of them. I'd say the scariest one that kind of reminds me of the one you just talked about was, I say maybe was now. It's been almost 20 years since I've had it. But you know, when I was younger, like I would have it almost weekly, and it was frightening. And the dream would be simply just like I'm like in this open field, and it's a very vibrant field. I can identify the colors of flowers and you know the grass, but it's very dark clouds, and the whole dream is just a rumbling sound, just like a boulder, like
Whoa.
and so I'll look up to the sky, and there's this like cloud rolling, but like you know not in a natural way that a cloud would roll. You know, it's almost like itself is a boulder.
Something
you know, like
abnormal.
but
Yeah.
and I'll just be petrified with fear because of this, and it's getting closer and closer. But I wouldn't run. I would just sit there and just stare at it, and then I'd wake up scared to death. And it's something that I would just
That
constantly.
was
have
your
a dream.
reoccurring dream?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, it's a reoccurring dream. Or reoccurring characters is another thing that I also experienced. You know, dreaming about someone, you know, multiple times, different aspects. They have different faces or whatever, but it's always that same person.
Yeah, we touched.
I'm not
base
gonna
on
go.
that on
I'm
our,
not gonna
on
go.
our podcast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go too deep in it now, but
Yeah,
yeah, that shit. There's something to it.
it's amazing. It's mysterious, but it's beautiful too. I mean,
It's
honestly,
the brain, dude.
yeah, it's
brain,
it's
the
the
human brain.
expansion.
Is that what you believe? Do you think it's just simply down to you know just wires crossing in your brain?
I
know,
feel
read
that
it.
way.
The synapses in your brain are some of the most complex things on this planet. So I think when your mind is resting, I believe like your memories are being cataloged,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like I think in the process of the cataloging of memories, there's got to be some sort of like standby screen,
Yeah.
right? That your brain's kind
My
of
digital
referencing. You know what I
friend.
mean? Like it's almost like the
digital friend.
it's almost like the
It makes sense.
please wait.
Yeah.
You know, like
Please stand
Here's
by.
this.
yeah. The human brain is busy at the moment.
Yeah.
Enjoy this.
We just
Alternate.
jumbled this together for tonight.
Enjoy
Yeah,
this
there's a whole-
feature until we return.
There's a production crew in Chase's brain.
I mean,
That makes sense. Yeah, and it's that 100%
I feel like
absolutely plausible.
I agree 100% with what he said, and I feel like just for whatever reason my shit's kind of blocked out. I don't know. Must be what's it.
Well, that
There's
just
got to be something there.
makes you feel like the odd man out.
You've got these vivid dreams. I got nothing, bro.
Well, I've got like, you know, that one where I had a dream about somebody, and that somebody told me,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was there, and I was like, what did you say in the dream? And they told me what they said in the dream. I'm like, it was a connection. It was, yeah. And again, I'm not going to go too deep into that one. I'm not sure if that's one we talked about.
No, I have. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a lot of deja vu kind of moments.
Yeah, those are definitely more
Throughout the day, but
intense.
it's a strange
We're-
thing that I have that, but I don't recall my dreams. But deja vu moments happen often.
See, I can often refer back to the dreams that I've had when I have those moments. Like, I remember what dream this is and what it was.
Mm.
And it's
Yeah, I have all these moments where like I've been here. I've done this before.
and that's the shit I'm talking about. Like that multiverse sort of thinking of like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe somewhere this mental dimension crossed, and I lived this similar moment through the eyes of other me, and it's just coming back to me when I'm living it in my version of it. You know,
Those are the best. I mean,
Well,
they're scary, but
that's
they're
wildly
the best.
complex. I'm not prepared for that conversation.
I think
Yeah.
the first time I ever experienced that though was I was walking with my mother, and I said, "Mom, I had a dream about walking here. Like I remember walking here." And I said, "We went around this curve, and there's this tree with bricks around it. We walked around the curve, and there's this tree with bricks around it." I'm like,
Here it is, Mom.
"There it is. This is what I'm talking about." And that's one of two times I was able to prove it to somebody.
Okay.
You know, like I had a dream. I told them about the dream, and then the dream came to fruition. And when I was with that person, I'm like, "This is the shit I'm talking about. And it happens all the time."
Yeah.
And y'all call me crazy.
I have one of those, but it's kind of a downer.
Oh, well, I mean, do you
Chase,
want to
let's
share?
hear
Or?
it.
I remember
gotta
having-
bring us
we
up
lived in this
afterwards,
old farmhouse back in the day, and my grandparents had moved to Ohio to help my mom take care of, us kids because we're hellions. But so my grandma and my grandpa lived in the same house with us, and I remember I stopped having it once we didn't live in that house anymore. But I remember having this dream where my grandma was sat on the side of her bed and she would just rock back and forth, and she didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
And she didn't know who I was or who anyone was. And she would just rock back and forth, and I found it to be the scariest shit ever. I woke up in cold sweats because of that. And fast forward to now, my poor grandma is like, she actually
It's kind of there
doesn't
in that moment.
She doesn't know us.
Yeah, that's you're. First of all, you're right.
That's a downer.
Well, whatever.
No, I'm not saying it's a downer
true,
at
but
all.
I mean,
That's real.
That's
That's
real.
real.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
I feel
Right?
like
You're foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing, or it could be a predictive sort of thing, or what I was trying to say, like maybe you saw that through another you's eyes somewhere else. If you followed, the string theory, multiverse sort of.
I feel like that should be
theory.
a more easier thing to just put out there. You know what I mean? Like in society, as far as we've come and everything that's going on and all the shit that's still going on, I feel like we should be able to just express things like that and explain those.
And it not seem like you
Just
should be
like
in a
we would
straight
anything
jacket
else.
somewhere.
Because it's so common between all of us. It truly is.
I don't think people realize how common it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that shit's chalked up, like as you said, to like deja vu. Oh, deja vu! I lived this before. Oh, that's weird when that happens. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever, Karen. So, but yeah, that's. Anyway, enough about dreams.
That's a very weird path to walk down.
Oh, dude, I will go down hours down that path with you guys. But it's getting late, so.
Dude,
I'm gonna do a little chug.
oh,
You guys want to chug? Cheers and chug.
yeah, shit.
Cheers and sip.
Kyle bought.
I already chugged mine.
This is like diesel fuel. This stuff he bought.
No, man. I got that with you in mind, but then
Really?
after I had bought it, I realized it wasn't you that said you liked it. And I don't really care for it either, so we're in the same boat.
Who was it? Do you remember who it
I
was?
like the
It was
green
Adam.
one. I like the green one.
It was Adam. He's with the stream too.
Yeah.
I think Adam was the one I was talking about.
Adam was the guy, I believe.
Yeah, I think Adam was the one who I was thinking
He's
about.
actually he's a mechanic. He
Aircraft.
He's an aircraft mechanic.
Oh, nice. I know a couple of those.
Yeah. Do you really?
Yeah,
That's like a common thing
I
for
did
you?
my first live stream on Film Trigger with a guy who does stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't have any YouTube affiliation or nothing like that. He's just a buddy that I love just talking with. So he was the first live stream I did. We
How
watched the
ironic.
Snyder Cut together. But with that being said, it's late, guys. We're gonna close this up. Chase, thank you so much for
It's
coming
been my
in.
pleasure, dude.
Doors open always. And Kyle, if you want to get deep sometime, man, let's just we'll bring you in.
Yeah.
Dude, let's do it. Let's bring it in. We'll smoke
I'd
it
like
up.
to bring Jared. I'd like to bring Jared in here.
Well,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna suggest
You
because I
wanna-
know Chase is busy, and I was like, if Chase is busy, bring Jared.
Yeah, I'd like to bring
But,
him in,
yeah, I would-
and I'd like to see you dissect this guy's brain. Honestly, like I think it'd be interesting. Just for me.
When you say this guy,
I don't even
do you
need a
mean
mic.
Jared or this guy?
Jared, but this guy too.
okay.
There's so much more to Chase.
Well, I was
we didn't
trying.
even
I was
get
trying to go that route, but he, as I said, he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually
right.
have a friend who's also an internet creator at my place right now. He came from
Tell him.
Atlanta and then went to Virginia and he's made a point to stop his way through
Just to see Chase. and
Ohio
hang out
just
with
to
him.
hang out with me. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's not hold you back anymore, man. All right, guys. And Chase, you want to tell them? I mean, not the 5 people that are listening where to find you.
Oh,
No.
oh, of course. Yeah, no, check out, listen, you can always follow me on Instagram at Gilroy Vlogs or YouTube's Gilroy Vlogs. But the thing that I really want to start pushing and get everybody to really get hyped about is GarageBands Live. I think we're trying to take that to the moon. So check out GarageBands Live on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, on Twitter, anywhere. It's just at GarageBands Live.
All right, great. And Kyle, you also Nomadic Earth, you and Jaron.
Yeah. Check out us, Nomadic Earth. If you'd like to be booked on GarageBands Live, get a hold of me. Just email GarageBands Live, but most importantly,
Facebook's the best contact portal. Just message us on Facebook.
yeah, help support each other. I mean, in all of our passions. Make sure you follow this channel right here and keep tuning into these podcasts.
Yeah.
And support your friends, your brothers, your sisters, whatever they're doing, their movement. Fucking be there for them. That's all I got to say.
Always a man of beautiful words. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.